Hey everybody, what's up? It's your boy Tricky TD, and if you're on this video today, it's because you want to learn how to make a thumbnail like this. And in this video, I'll be going over every single step of the way. So before we jump in this video, make sure you drop a like, sub to the channel if you're new, and let's hop right into this. Hey, welcome back. Okay, so right now we're gonna jump into making a thumbnail. So what you want to do is you want to go to File. You want to hit either Control N, which is a shortcut key, or you want to hit New. And just for the video purpose, I'll hit New. So it's gonna pop up all these different aspects, and don't get confused if you're new to this. Make sure you just want to have it 19 by 20. All this right here is just the recent aspect ratios, height and width that I were previously using. So if I wanted to use it real quick, it just has a whole bunch of tabs for me. So let's go ahead and change this to 1920 to 1080p. And you want to change it, you want to have it, keep it, or if it's not on pixels, make sure you're clicking pixels, because that's what Photoshop works with. Because if you were to zoom all the way in, you'll see every image as one square, which is a pixel. Keep the resolution to 72. Keep it to RGB color. You go to white. You could keep it as white, which is what I'm gonna use for this video. So go ahead and click white, and you're gonna go ahead and create. And now you're gonna want to use, okay, so if you're not new to, or if you're new to Photoshop, you can't tell that this is not portioned out correctly. But if you are accustomed to Photoshop, you can tell this is not right, because if I would hold down my space bar, which is going to activate my move tool, my cursor, I can drag around, and I'm not seeing all the edges, I'm just seeing this. So you want to hit Control 0, and it perfectly portions it from up here to down here to the left and right. So now we are going to want to click the little lock, because it's going to unlock it. It's going to allow us to use, I'm going to name this as background. And by clicking the little lock button, it unlocks it, because now this is not editable. If I want, whatever I want to do, I cannot do it because it's locked. Whatever I could go to, well, let me see, I can't change the color because it's locked. So you want to click this, and since I already unlocked it, named it background. So what I want to do now is you're just going to use a background based on what you're going to use for the video. We're going to go to a background that I've already used in previous videos. So we're going to go here to open. Let's go to, do I have, let me see if I have some. No, I think I've deleted them. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a quick search up. And I'll be doing it for a Fortnite video. So, Fortnite background. Okay, so Fortnite background. I'm gonna hit images. You want to look for something, preferably you want to look for your height and width resolution. So we put in earlier in the video 19 by 20. So I have one right here, 19 by 20. And you want to click it and make sure it loads up correct and everything. You want to right click, hit copy image, go back to Photoshop, now press Control V. And it's going to paste it right there. It pastes it for whatever reason into a new layer. So we're just going to delete the background layer, and we're going to double click that and rename that one background. Okay, so in Photoshop, if you have one layer only one, it's not going to allow you to delete it. But if you were to, for example, click this little tab right here, a new layer, and you go down to it, now you want to delete this, it's going to allow you to delete it. So let's just delete this one. Okay, so what I like to work on first is the background layer. So we're going to add some customizations to the background layer. So what I like to do is I want to hit filter, I want to hit blur, I want to hit Gaussian blur, and it's just going to add a little blur effect to your picture. And so I like, the best to me is about 5 to 6 pixels. You can have it. So let's do 5.5. Click that, and it adds it. Okay, so now you want to let's add some text next. So you want to hit T on your keyboard, and this right here. At the moment, you see how it's blue. It doesn't really matter what you have it as, because I add different blending option to it. I'll get more in detail when we get there, so it doesn't matter what color. Let's put, let's do how to, and let's save that by clicking out of it anywhere. And now we have it as a text layer, how to. So now we're going to edit that. You're going to go over here, make sure it's clicked, the actual layer itself, and just right click it. And go up to blending options. And now this is where you can make the little text pop, make it look all cool, and how everything looks awesome, like thumbnails of professional YouTubers. You want to go to stroke. By check marking it, by clicking the little box, you can add a check mark, which is applied as the last effect that you had. So, but as you can tell, but if you're not familiar with it, if I just check it, this is not the blend, the strokes like properties. So you want to click this, check the box, and actually click it and see how it changes. This is the extra properties of what to do and how you can mess with it. The size, the pixels right here is the outer rim of it. So if I move it up, see how you can see the pixels and everything. And that's because I have it on outside. Now if I were to switch it and put it inside, it goes inside and makes it all the way till it's blacked out. I like to run it outside. Whatever you want to do, that's your preference. So I move it up a little bit, about right there. It's cool. The opacity is if you're able to actually see the stroke itself, and you want to see the stroke, so leave it at 100. I like to do this is why I say the color didn't really matter at the time, because you can always change it, and the gradient overlay is more better than just putting a simple color, because you can add different like flow to the color. And so I'll show you about flow. If you were to click that, see it's like a blue and a purple. You click it right here, that's what I had it set, a blue and a purple. If I click that and go over to this, and for the video purpose, you can either click it once and go to color, and that's going to pop up, or you can double click it. Let me see. Okay, there you go, double click and it'll just pop up. So for the video sake purposes, let's do a harsh red, and let's go over here and click, and let's do like a whatever, yellow, whatever that is. See, now if you want to apply the changes, you hit OK. Now look at it, it's how to. So now what I like also do is I like to add a drop shadow, and remember you're check marking to apply the actual effects, and you click it to look at the properties. So now that to me already looks perfect, but if you didn't know what you're doing, it'll probably look different and everything. My blend mode on here is on multiply. You can have it just based on preference, and blend mode is just how it actually applies to it. So if I have everything zero out and move the distance, it'll just be a copy of the word, and I can move it over like that, and it'll just be like a copy of the word. It's to make it look like a shadow. So let's do that and just change the size of it, and it's gonna blur it out. Let's do something like that. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so now we're gonna go OK, and it's gonna save the changes to that. So now, and if you go right here, it's gonna tell you effects, which is what you did to it, and like every single step of the way. So drop shadows added to it, the gradient overlays added to it, and the strokes added to it. You can minimize that by clicking the little tab. Now we're gonna have to actually let's portion this out. So you want to hit Control T, and it's gonna bring up little brackets around it. You can move it individually, but it's gonna portion it like not to it. I don't know how to explain it. It's not gonna make it like even when you're making it bigger or smaller. So what you want to do is you want to hit Shift while you're doing it. Hold Shift and click and drag. Don't worry about this it's showing green or whatever, because by the time you press by the time you press Enter, yeah, it'll have it regular. So let's make it like that. How to make it a little wider. Now press Enter, and bam, the color's back to it. So we're gonna have it how to. Okay, now for the next one, we are going to press T again, and we are going to make a thumbnail. We're going to put thumbnail. Okay, now we're going to click anywhere. Now we can either do our own blending options and add our own thing to it, whatever we want to do it, or like for the purpose of the video, we could have just wrote it out all in one text, how to thumbnail. But I wanted to edit the size of the thumbnail first. So if you want this is the same options you had on this, the layer style, to go on this one, you want to go over to the how to, click it, right click, and go to copy layer style, and then you go over to thumbnail, right click it, and paste layer style. Now it's exactly going to be the same for what you did to the how to text, and I want this to be bigger than the how to text, so I'm going to hit Control T, and I'm going to hold Shift, and I'm just going to drag it up. I want to be a little exceptional bigger than that. Okay, we're going to have it how to. I want it about right there. Okay, now we're going to hit Enter. Okay, now so what we're going to do is we're going to edit the text. We're going to copy some. I'll just show you what I mean right now. Because for example, this is a background layer and it's not text. So if I wanted to do something to it, like a brush, or I have the lightning up right now, all the lightning is going to pop up. But if I wanted to do that to a text, I can't. It's asking me to rasterize. Let's make it to a rasterized layer. And once it is in the rasterized layer, you cannot edit the text. You cannot change what it says at all. So make sure before you're doing that, you want that it's saying what you exactly want it to say. So, and we can go right click and go to each one, rasterize, or what we can do is hold Control, click on how to, click on thumbnail, and press E. Not only is it gonna make it to a rasterized type layer, it's gonna merge them too. So merging them is right now, if I check all these real quick, now I can move these individually. By merging it, when I move it, it's gonna move as a group. So it's only if you want to. You can, if you're doing something else, you can individually rasterize it. So Control, and make sure you're double clicking them. Control makes you able to select multiple things at once, and you hold E now. And now it's moved together. Now it has that transparent background because it is now like, I would say like a picture, I would say. And so now you're able to actually move it together as a whole. So we're gonna have it kind of like right there. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of make it more like paint the background, I guess you want to say. So you're gonna hold Control, and you are gonna click the actual picture, not right here. You don't want to click this. You want to click the picture. Click that. So now it selects everything, it outlines it. So what you want to do is go to Select, go to Modify, and go to Expand, and you want to set it about 20 pixels. And now it's gonna be an outline over it. The outline just made it expand. That's basically what it did. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go down to the bottom right and click New Layer, because when you do something in Photoshop, if you're doing something individually, or not individually, if you're doing something, you always want to do a new layer so that whatever you did to that something is separated for the actual whole picture, so you can edit that individually. So now, so we're gonna make this. We're just gonna right now. If I hold Alt Delete, it's gonna paint it blue, and it's over right now. And the reason why it's blue is because if I go over here to my left, the color I have is blue. I could change it to something else, but just for the purpose of the video, we're just gonna leave it. And now it's still outlined, so what you want to do is hit Control D, and it deselects it. And the reason why it's actually over the text is because right here you have it set, you have it laid out that you want it to be over. So if you want the paint to be underneath it, you just drag underneath. Now it's how to thumbnail right there. So now that let me see what I want to do next. So now let's edit the blue itself. So remember, just right click and hit blending options, and you just add a stroke to it real quick. Stroke's cool. Let's just drag it down just a little bit. Just to go 3 pixels. Looks cool. Let's do gradient overlay. I don't think it's necessary. Drop shadow. No, let's do an outer glow. And that looks really nice actually. So we're gonna keep it like that. We're gonna keep everything the same. But if you wanted to mess with it, so for example, if it was just set, let's go actually reset the default. It's gonna be white. Everything. So what you want to do is go to click this one to the right. It's not necessary right now. You want to click the actual main color of it. So I had it as red, and you want the opacity to be let's not do the opacity. Let's mess with the spread and the size of it. See how it's like a little red outline on it? This is the size. This is just a spread over it. You want to make it bigger, to make it actually visible, you go like that, and it makes it wider, the size. So let's do that, and let's turn up the opacity just a little bit. No. Let's bring the spread down, the size more. Okay, to me that looks nice, kind of like a glowy. And the reason why it's glowy is because it's a specific blend mode. So if I were to do lighten, or let's see, multiply, dissolve. Oh no. Overlay. Yeah, I like the overlay. Overlay looks nice. So hit OK. Okay. So now that we have that, what we want to do is now merge it. So hold Control, click, and now E. Okay, now that it's like that, when I move it, it moves as a whole. So now we can do that. Okay, now if we want to add some like more detail to make it look more cooler, let's make sure you click on thumbnail. So hit Control T, and go over it, right click it, and we can do let me see, distort, and let's not use that one. Let's Control T again, and right click. Let's do perspective. Perspective. Let's hit it with. Move it around a bit and do it like that. How to thumbnail. Okay. Now what you also want to do is you can add some more color around the edges. Some more color. So what you want to do is you want to add a new layer, and then you want to drag it underneath and put this as outer color. So now you want to hit gradient. Go to gradient. You can hit G. You want to click this and just pick. Oh no. Pick a color now. Double click and let's do something that can offset it. I believe let's do like a light green, like a very light. No, it's a little darker but lighter than that, like that. Okay, now hit OK. Now you want to make sure that this one is picked because everyone does different. My favorite one is this one. You can test it out and do it on your own thing. You can click this right here. You want to click in and click out of it. Oh, wrong way. I mean, you want to click out and click in. Okay, so let's go like that, and it does that, and it does that. To me, looks decent. I like it. Actually, coming out really nice. I like the color I've been choosing. Okay, so now what else could we do? We could add some texture actually in the background too. So let's exit this out and let's look for texture backgrounds. Texture backgrounds. And remember, you want to look something that's proportion to your actual thing. So this one's 19 by 20, 1920 by 18. Well, I'm sorry, 1920 by 1080p. So you click it, and we're gonna right click it, copy, and we're gonna go to here, and we're gonna make a new layer. Remember how I say you want always to make a new layer so you can edit stuff individually. Control V, and it pops up. The reason why it cuts up everything is because that's the way you have it set up. If you want everything, just drag it underneath. Actually, drag it under this. No. You can drag it on top, and you just go to your opacity, and you turn it down. And you can't really see it, but it's not meant to be seen. It's meant to be for the texture. And let's hit it on as screen. Change the blend mode to screen. Oh, sorry. Let's mess with the opacity just a little bit. Okay, that works. So it's not really much a big difference, but to me the details is what really matters. Okay, so we're gonna leave that alone. What we want to do next after that is if you want, like I was adding thunder in the beginning, is this you go to your brushes and you just gotta look up into packages online, look for different type of brushes. So I can click this one and have it just click out of it. I want it to do something like it's like a purple lightning. Dark purple. And make sure it's a new layer because remember you want to be able to edit everything individually. And just click. Bam. I want the lighting to be under the text. Now it's how to thumbnail. Now to make it even like more better, we're gonna add some borders around it. So what we're gonna want to do is make a new layer, and you guys don't want to be unorganized like how I'm doing. Making sure that you're actually naming every single thing. We are going to go to gradient overlay. We're gonna drop that down to black. Go right here, and we're gonna drag all the way across. God damn, why is it not black? Oh, because I didn't change it up here. Okay, so we're gonna go to. Let's just click this. Click it, black. Click this one over here, black. Come on, bro, black. Oh, I don't want blue. Let's make that one black. See if that works. Make this one black. See if that works. Come on, bro. Why is you not working right now? You just want to fill it all the way black. You guys don't usually have to do this like this. For some reason, it's acting like difficult. So, okay. it's black now. So you want to right click it, go to your blending options. You want to go to fill opacity, drag that down to 0. Now that's it's no longer seen. I think you go to, I forget, let me see. Is it cover light? No, is it inner glow? I think it's drop shadow. Let's unclick this and click drop shadow. Let's move the distance over a little bit, the size over a little bit, color overlay. I'm gonna change the color of this one, do black. No, it's not this one. Is it inner shadow? Yeah, I think it's inner shadow. No, it's this one. Yes, okay, it's inner shadow right here. We're gonna drive it over. It's not inner shadow, I lied. Okay, we're just gonna leave it like that and see what it does. Okay, then you want to hit Control T, and now you're gonna want to drag it out just a little bit. And what it's doing now is it's creating a border. And then you just hit enter, and there you go. You got a border right then and there. And that's how to make a simple how-to thumbnail right there. If you guys did make it this far in the video, feel free to drop a like on the video, sub if you're new, tell all your friends that Tricky showed you, and yeah, just tell all your friends. Okay, but if you guys want a different type of thumbnail, or if you guys need any questions that you need to be answered, just drop it down in the comment section below, and I'll answer all of them. This is Tricky T signing out. Thank you guys for watching my video. Peace.